Chris. Sarah Chris. Sahara Chris. Damn, baby. The fuck is this? It's fucking like Chase Wallace or Chase Stone type of shit you got here. Beautiful. Amazing. What the hell do I have to say about this? I don't know, man. You know what you're doing right now. That's beautiful. Amazing job. Amazing. Let me just admire this. Colors, gorgeous. Gesture, gorgeous. Color differences on the highlights, perfect. Saturation, perfect. Balance, perfect with the background. Shine is perfect. Three-dimensional, like preservation of the cube, perfect. Uniqueness, it's a beautiful fucking A+. It's A+ right here. Iste confirmed for glasses, senpai. Sarah, what inspired you? Talk to us about this a little bit. Amazing. You know, I should start calling you guys on Skype and just have you like talk about it. I don't know. Maybe you guys want to hear Sarah's opinion on this beautiful piece. It's amazing watching people grow and expand. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just being like emotional today, but I have been feeling extremely amazed by this community. I have just been like up and down amazed at you guys. I cannot believe the potential that you guys have and how much it's flowered. Brian Das, I've seen your 14-day challenge. Rose's 14-day challenge. Shauna Rose or something Rose. I wanted to talk about them today, but Sarah said, I don't know, I had this kind of character for a long time. Maybe your muse. Might be something like that. Let's look at some accomplishments today. I wanted to do a showcase video on it separately, but I'm just gonna make them one combo video. You've all seen this, right? You've all seen this amazing 14-day challenge submission. This is by, I posted her on the class website. Let me just quickly go and take a look at what she said. So narcissistic of me to call the class website after myself. Istebrak.com. So this is Sacranocia, and damn it, her name is something Rose. Shannon Rose. Hi, Shannon. Amazing work. And I'm not sure how you got your critiques. I'm not sure what you did with your critiques. I'm not sure what developed these 14 days so amazingly, efficiently. You can see the way the eyes developed, and he slowly started to depend less on the, over here, great dependency on contrast, and you're still kind of etching in the line. And then here you really grayed it out and started really chiseling and sculpting. And then it just, I'm amazed, like I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I'm amazed by you guys. And then we have somebody else's. I saved his day 2 as well. I saved his day 1. I'm not sure where I put his day 1. Let me see if I can find it. Damn it. Brian, can you link me your day 1, please? So we can see. I was so sure I saved your day 1. Let me see if I can find it, see you guys. Who is Kuro? Yeah, Kuro Kaze, he's like a regular in the community. He just gives all his time. Thank you so much, Kuro, for giving everyone so much time. giving them such thoroughly written critiques. I read through them every time. They're spot on. He's in the Google community if you guys are looking for him. But I'm trying to find Brian's day one. Brian, link me your day one for the love of Pete. For the love of Brian. I'm trying to show everyone. I'm trying to show you off, baby. Is this your day one? Well, if you see Brian's day one, you'll be amazed as well how quickly they started to get that shadow in the socket line, and just beautifully form the light spots and dark spots, and not depend too much on immediate contrast. And the face is different every time. The uniqueness isn't lost. Everyone has their own unique kind of face. This is the Shannon face. This is the face we'll see in her paintings, her muse face. This is the face that she'll go back to, or she'll dress up. Um, and the same thing with Brian. I see this sort of like customization, I guess you can call it, and a combination of the realism that you've learned, and the sculpting, and the basic physics of structure that you've learned, and combining it with your own unique opinion on what looks beautiful and what looks attractive. And it's everyone, there's an audience for every one of those opinions that you guys have. I'm really just amazed by the lot of you. I know what I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving, that's for sure. This community is an amazing blessing for me. Being able to just teach you guys and be here and watch you guys grow, it just makes me like choked up. I want to cry right now. I'm just trying to hold it back. um, so yeah, let's take a look at we'll look at Brian's in a second because he's still looking for it. But lots of pressure. He's just like, I'm trying. I'm trying, guys. Just give me a second. Hurry up, Brian. Let's take a look at this. This is submitted to me by a student. She studies at art and art design, I believe, in college, and illustration or something. This is one of her graduate projects. I forget what I read exactly. I'm so sorry. I forgot. So many messages. But listen, honey, it is a very good thing to have texture and brush freedom. To have a brushstroke signature that is preserved. You don't have to clean everything up. This is a perfect example of brush stylization, not having to worry too much about cleaning everything up. However, let's say that your painting is a map. Every painting you're ever going to paint is a map, and you want to give some room for push and pull, I guess, when you make the map. You're not 100% sure what it is you're mapping out, but you know it's a land that you're mildly familiar with. If you are familiar with the areas that you know very, very well, why not make those areas of the map as detailed as you possibly can? Why not? It's not an actual map where we're directing people around an area. Of course, you want to make the map as thorough as possible, but in reference to the painting, which, excuse my endless metaphors, but it's how I teach. In your painting, you are mapping out form. The destination is form. Always. The destination is always form. Can anyone explain why? It's Brian's day one. No, that's not your day one. Oh, shit. Yeah, there it is. Look, take a look, guys. While you guys answer the questions, just take a pause. This is Brian's day one. And this is Brian's latest day. This is day 5. This is after 5 attempts of painting a face with a critique. You have to get a critique. If you guys are curious about what is the 14-day challenge, go to www.istebrak.com and go to the community and then scroll down to the FAQ. I explain what it is there. But this is before. And this is after. Every time you repaint the face, you are opening up the you're brightening up the map. Remember Age of Empires? How you have to explore the map in order to get rid of that fog of war or that fog or the blackness of the map or the unknown. Every time you redo a face, you are expanding the unknown. So every time you're going to do paint a face again, it's going to look better automatically by just hands down. It's going to look better. You're not going to have to try to make it look better than the day before, because by the time that day is finished and you started your new day and you've taken a pause and you're starting again with another painting, what's happened is that you are comfortable with this newly discovered ground. You are not afraid to venture out. You've discovered new rules, new things that work, new techniques that if applied consistently will always reap results. So for anyone who's not trying the 14 day, I don't know why you're not. And as I was saying in the group chat, who's left that doesn't know how to draw a face in this community? I'm so proud of you all. Everyone seems to be able to draw a face now. I love that, because you guys, drawing a face is like the hardest thing. And it's one of those things that we're measured by, unfortunately. So seeing that you guys have taken on that massive hurdle of that students have to get over, it makes me proud. Again, I'm speechless. I'm kind of just stumbling around right now. So let's see what everyone's saying. So no one answered my question. You lazy butts. What do I mean when I say the map of your drawing is a map to form? The destination is always form. Let me answer it. It's a very basic answer. It means that you are always trying to depict something in an open space. No matter what it is, no matter what world it is, what dimension, what magical powers exist in that world, if it's Winnie the Pooh world, if it's, you know how like in Kingdom Hearts you go to different worlds, it doesn't matter which one, there's always going to be a sense of three-dimensional in there that needs to be emulated and captured. When you have fuzzy edges, because of your textured way of painting, or because of the way you've decided to use your brush, which is here very, very diversely and seamlessly, this is not always good for your art. This constant fear of sharpening an edge, this is where this is coming from, by the way. This is not a stylistic conscious choice you've made in your image, oh student Aman. This is you being afraid to clean up the edges, because you're like, damn, those edges look really cute and really good when I leave them unedged, unclean, when I leave them textured. But the core of this the point of what I'm saying is that form only exists in the clean edge. If you have a fuzzy edge, you are decreasing the amount of form. If form was measured by a graph, and fuzziness and texture are dependent on, I'm not really good with math, are boosted when you raise this, and this is texture, this is fuzziness, this is all that stylistic abstraction. This goes down for every time this goes up, and this is form. It's always good to have a balance, and if you don't want a balance or don't have the trained eye to sense, or the instinct for the balance, if you don't know when you've balanced the two, it's very difficult. This is only mastered later on in life. This is the perfect balance where style happens. The balance between form and abstraction, realism and arealism or non-realism. This happens later on in life. Always, by rule of thumb, keep realism the higher graph, the higher bar, and keep abstraction only as a complement to the realism. And the realism is entirely dependent on the form. And if you are constantly using abstractions and fuzziness and stylization of your brush, you are going to lose the form. Even if they were ethereal beings, they need to have some cleaning up happening that separates certain parts of who they are as more solid and more measurable three-dimensionally than the other areas that have become fluid or liquid or gaseous, and they've become the spirit. You want to clean this bit up. Look at that difference. Instantly we have a closer, um, a tighter, I guess, a tighter definition of what this object really is. We give it a gender. We depend less on the fuzziness and the abstraction to hide our weakness when it comes to anatomy. You can use these slight shade jumps to bring in some detail. You can bring in an expression. This is all detail. This is an added addition of detail. You run away from detail the more you depend on abstraction. It becomes much more difficult to bring in a detail that is a legitimate detail, meaning something that is related to a function or a digit or a feature on the face. It's much more difficult to detail something and actually make sense of the detail. Meaning you're not just throwing in tiny dots for the sake of detail, you're throwing in detail where it really matters, like on a feature. Differentiating between the upper and lower eyelid. Lashes you might throw in. Remnants of hair. This is all an addition of detail. This is all nice to look at. It doesn't deplete. It doesn't take away from your vision that you had for this image. You still have a lot left. You still have the areas over here that you can keep as textured as you wanna. But over here, this is one part of the stage. This is one member of the stage. This is one actor. We want to see some detail on this actor. We want to see the different separations between these units in this image and what they mean to the entire composition. What's really happening here? It's hard to tell because everything was seamless. You have to have some seams. And you have to have some definition, some edge work. And that's where you really are tested as an artist, by your ability to create edges. And if you're running away from that, if you're running away from your opportunity to use edges, then it becomes a measure of your skill and your merit as an artist. That's not good. They'll say, well, she's not doing it because she doesn't know how. And that's not true. If you're having trouble figuring out the forms, it's just a matter of creating the gesture line and separating. I'm not sure exactly why I'm focusing on the butt right now. Separating certain areas from each other so you can create the form structure. You don't have to bring in a black or a darker brown to create more detail. You can just use beautiful edges that are not blending. Meaning this slight gray and this slight white and this yellowish mid-tone. You don't have to blend them to create the edge. Look at how much more detail we have. Upper eyelid. We can bring in some of that highlight and throw it on the upper eyelid and show off the upper eyelid a little bit. We can show off the lower eyelid. That's an addition of detail that these edges have given us. And look at how much more intriguing that is. Let me sharpen that a little bit. You want to bring in detail in your painting. You don't want to depend on abstractions to hide away your inability to draw something realistically. If you can't draw realistically, start doing some studies. Because your inability to tackle something and make it look realistic has crippled the potential of this painting, meaning that at that point when you realize you can't draw something, you got to stop everything and go punch that shit in the face and learn it. And then you can get all crazy and bring in those beautiful details. I don't know what amazing brush you've used, but it's just delicious. I'm trying to find a brush just like it. Whoa, no, that's wrong. Maybe this one. And then the lower you go, the further away you move from the focal point of detail, the fuzzier you can get. Her hair could be one big, foggy, less contrasted, kind of ghostly collection of detail. It doesn't have to be anything extreme. Actually, I would zoom out and just give the hair a more pronounced gesture line, shrinking the brush as I go to get that hair texture really down. Now we have more detail and something more to look at. Before, what was there really to look at? This looked like the first 50 seconds of a painting. That's not excusable if you have the opportunity if you've gone this detailed as the dogs, for something in the background, you can go a little bit extra detailed here. And if you fear that you're losing the ghostly feel, trust me, we will read this as a ghostly creature. I mean, it's not every day someone walks around with like a halo of smoke and spirit around them. We know this is a ghostly creature. Don't worry about that. We want to know what kind, what's the gesture, what's the story, what's the gender, who was this before, what are they up to? Are they stuck there? And you're calling it the River Styx. Clearly these are dead souls that the Cerberus is stopping from escaping. It's the underworld. So you see a lot of new detail we're adding, but we're still preserving that feeling you had earlier with your fuzzy edges. This time the fuzzier edges are directed differently, and we really have like this glow happening with this character. And we can bring in a light source. Everything can benefit from a light source. Write that back to me now, guys. Everything can benefit from a light source. So if we bring in a light source to try to make sense of all of this, we can bring the light source in to sort of show off her transparency and her glow and give her like a central, kind of like a light bulb, a central glow to her, just like this. Of course, a little bit more defined. Filter. I'll probably push the arm in just to show how slender the arm is if it's a woman. Everything benefits from a light source. Everything can use a little bit of extra form. And for the other hand, because the other hand you drew was kind of confusing, the other hand, I kind of feel like would kind of just sit in that direction. Something like that off in the distance. You can get that other hand back. Get the torso down first if you guys want a tip on how to draw gestures. Get the torso down and then attach the branches. And try the arms and the legs. Filter, liquefy, just fixing the gesture up just a little bit more. When it comes to ghosts, because they're not physical creatures anymore, you have the chance to elongate their features. And that's something they really did very, very well in the Hercules movie when they depicted the River Styx. So the light source is kind of revealing that part of her spine. And that part of her butt. And that's more detail. And then you've got the light source revealing her arm a little bit and her other arm. And that's a little more detail. And you want to, again, benefit from a light source. You want to just make the head feel a little bit more three-dimensional. And no, it's too much. And kind of make it seem transparent the further you get from the brain, which is where some of the spirit lives, as they say. It's a little bit brighter around here. Kind of make it feel like it's getting a little transparent. And then just keep bringing in that glow, and that'll be the glow that you want. But look at here, have we touched this area? No, because it's perfect. It's become a perfect balance between detail and abstraction. Why is it, can anyone answer why it's important to balance detail and abstraction, realism and abstraction? Can anyone explain why it's important to do that? Just showing off some more detail here. So this is pretty much where I recommend you go. This is where you need to go with this painting. It's a challenge, yeah. It's daunting, absolutely. It's like, how the fuck am I gonna do that? I know. But you can do it. Just a little bit of perspective. Because it creates depth, shows focal point. Because if it's too abstract, your brain can't compare it to anything. Excellent, excellent Irish, familiarity. Irish hit it on the dot. He hit it on the nose. He took the bull by the horns and other sayings. Absolutely perfect. That's the answer I'm going with. If you depend too much on abstraction, you lose familiarity. You need some realism to create the familiarity. Now here, very nondescript human being. Yeah, it's okay, fine. It's a person stuck in the river Styx, but do you feel sorry for them? It's like a nondescript person. Like, is it even a person? Yeah, it's got arms and legs and a head, but I want to feel sorry for it. You give it more detail, you feel more sorry for it. Okay, how about this person here? You have a silhouette at your disposal. So maybe we can make this an older person. He's got like the hairs. Because the more you add abstract, the more you lose realism and form. Good job, Asma. Give the rest to the eye because the eye focuses at one thing at a time. Focal points is definitely something involved in that. Definitely focal points. Hi, Carlo. How you doing? Long time. Welcome. So I'm just adding some detail here so we can feel sorry for this guy. Give him a haunched back. He's another poor soul stuck in the river Styx. Give him a closer, if you want to make something look like it's haunched, or that someone's back look like it's haunched, just show less of a healthy silhouette, like a boyish silhouette, and break the silhouette basically. And again, where's the light source coming from? So I'm just going to darken this whole area and bring in the spine. Gotta zoom out, sorry guys. And then create the ghostly creature. Now a little bit about composition. Composition is the way you've organized your image. So stuff that is more detailed should generally stick to the foreground, and stuff that is less detailed should stick to the background. Now I'm still not entirely sure if these are spirits, because this guy kinda, oh, this is his face. Yeah, so let me give you a quick thing on that actually. When you have these kinds of expressions, they are more universal, more abstract, less familiar. Again, if you want us to feel sorry for this person, the detail has to be brought over here. So make him look a little more human. Give him those hollow cheekbones and those nostrils. Give him that the expression of desperation. There we go. It feels a lot more familiar. It's like, oh, poor dude. Can I help you, bro? So, more familiarity. Again, a hunched back to show age. Probably a skinnier build. Some ribs that you could sneak in there. And then paint around that. And he's trying to pull at Hades. This is Hades, right? This is the Hades, and that's his dogs. And they're all trying to pull at his clothes to let them out or something. That's really depressing. Perfect for Halloween though, eh? Just perfect. Love it. I love it when things just line up. That way we can sneak in some of that rib cage that I was talking about. And by the way, you can go ahead and do all of this stuff that I've suggested. You can personalize it, of course. But go ahead and try this stuff. Let me... And you want to unify these creatures by giving them a common color. I see this like blue-green color as a really nice unifying color between all of these spirits. Giving them the yellow glow kind of feels a little too homely. So give them that deadness right at the very tip. So you can have a balance of yellow in there, but I recommend some real unity in the colors. And now I'm just going to throw in that glow that unifies them again, shows the textures to be similar. I might just liquefy this guy. He's still looking like he's you wouldn't help him? He's creepy as fuck. Man, you got no heart. You got no heart, Pixie. Like, please, I want to see my wife. Oh, I'm gonna cry. He just wants to see his wife again. I'm just gonna shrink this. Okay, and then maybe just shrink him all together. No. Yeah, he's a little too big. Oh, it's so sad. He must have like died in like the Trojan War or something, and no one gave him a proper burial, so he was just adopted by the river. I don't know why I'm so fucking sentimental. It's the weather. You see, we're still bringing those raw brush strokes that look very, very good. Very yummy, and we're unifying. They're kind of starting to look the same again. Now, what this is might be like this might be like a border or something. You're gonna write over it. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but it needs to be separated. You cannot have it be the same texture as this stuff, because what you're telling me is that it's made of the same material. That's not good. That's not a good thing. You need to show some separation. Make it a little more edged out. Maybe a little bit darker. Clean it up. And when you're actually talking about a river, bring in some vertical distortion. I mean, horizontal sort of patterning for where the river is. And I would darken the whole part of the river here, and then highlight it, erase only where there are spirits, because they're kind of reflecting through. Just like that. It feels a lot more like water and a river. And as for Hades, son of a bitch, you're basically tackling cools against warms. So reinforce that color fight by throwing in more of that blue down here, just as a general wash. all the way into the water a little bit. I kind of really like the way you've crossed over the warm though. And then bring in that warm again as one large wash on the hell, sort of hell bringer, which is Hades. And that balances the colors a little bit more. So before, after, kind of a more organized composition. Before, after. I also like the yellow glow. The blue glow isn't entirely necessary, but it kind of does organize things up a little bit. So it's really your choice. Yeah, Hades got it bad. He picked the wrong straw. Rain is awesome. Rain is my life. So, it's Charon the ferryman that takes you to the gates of the underworld. Okay. My bad. Did you draw it? Yeah, Aurelia drew it. Welcome, Aurelia. Do you by any chance play Aurelia? Because if you do, get the fuck out of here. I'm joking. Any other questions? Oh, damn. Damn, Mista just taught me more right now than all of my teachers in the last 3 years. Awesome and depressing at the same time. I'm so sorry it's depressing, but I'm happy that it's awesome. I'll just take some of that layer that I threw in, not all of it. So again, do not depend too much on abstractions to deliver the theme. Get some realism in there to create some familiarity. So the theme is furthered with a sense of validation because the realism is there to make it real. Hey, this really happened. This is somewhere in another dimension somewhere. I believe it because it's real. I truly believe that somewhere in the galaxy, League of Legends is real. That Lord of the Rings has its own dimension. Because it's just the way the writers and the artists created those things is with such a level of realism. I'm not comparing League of Legends to Lord of the Rings. Don't get me wrong. And no, that's not what I'm doing. But when you paint, do with details, it's very similar when you write with detail, when you give descriptions. You can write with detail by describing the smallest little things and how prevalent they are to the general theme or emotion of the moment or the chapter. And that gives in realism, and you believe in that. You believe that the thing actually happened because, hey, this guy really is feeling at such a detailed, deep level. Wow, this realism is as real as I am. And that familiarity that we were talking about brings you closer to your audience, Aurelia. Too much abstraction pushes them away. It says, hey, get the fuck out of here. It creates a wall between you and the audience. And I guess that's why data art and abstract art and the Picasso thing, I guess that's why it was so profound. Because people were trying so hard to grasp and pull after having so many years of the Renaissance, so many years of realistic painting, so many years of representational art that brought them closer to the paintings. All of a sudden a painter comes and says, hey, you can't get close to my painting because look at the abstraction I have. You can't get close to that. That looks nothing like you. And that's what drew people to it, because people want what they don't have. But we're not here trying to deal with that. We're here trying to give people a balance of those two things, abstract and realism. Don't depend on one too much. So we're not here trying to do a photo bashing either. We're not trying to do photorealism either, because that's going to push people away. Trust me. You need some fantasy and some realism in that beautiful sweet spot. And that's really what's going to push it for you. I recommend more detail on this fella because I'm running out of time. I couldn't really detail him. Try to bring it in the same detail level as her. Bring in some more spirits under the water so you can make it feel more crowded and collected. And I think that's it. You stupid person with the stupid ads. Go away. Leaves Ista at the door of Looney Bin and runs away. Why am I at Looney Bin? What did I say? That was scary. There is an infinite amount of universe. Oh yeah, because I believed that it was real somewhere. Okay. If there is an infinite amount of universe, all your bad drawings are living somewhere. being somewhere. Think about it. That reminds me of SpongeBob. Doodle Bob. I think that's what they're called. They're in hell. That makes so much sense. Thank you so much. No problem, Aurelia. Good luck with your work and be a regular here. Don't be a stranger anytime you need something. This is what this community is for. Thanks everyone for coming. Have a great week. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Bye bye.